This is the drive home. I say drive home, I ain't driving very far at the moment. The traffic in South London is horrendous. This is the drive home with TT and the boys Zach and Alfie. Driving home from the Den, where it finished Millwall 0, Sheffield United 2. Might as well put my handbrake on, I ain't going anywhere. The traffic is a little bit how I'm feeling, to be honest. A little bit deflated, bit static, but ultimately it's the first time where I feel like we didn't give it our all for an FA Cup match, which is a little bit disappointing. But we're prioritising the league, and I don't like that way of thinking. I think we should put our best team out every single week when we can. Certainly if you're playing superior opposition, you can take a little bit of a chance if you're playing weaker opposition, like we did against Newport County, and we still looked the better side. We still looked like the team in the high league. There wasn't too much between Sheffield United and Millwall today. Just the bits of quality. You know, the two goals, the two finishes from Sheffield United were excellent. Some of the play and the way that the centre-back joins in the attack for Sheffield United is good to watch. But I felt that centrally we done really well today. You know, Billy Mitchell, Jason Melambe, and most of the defence looked decent for long spells in the game. They didn't look too troubled. But we just didn't create anything attacking, you know, other than one chance in the first half that we should score, really. We did not make Henderson make enough, or any saves, and that's always going to lead to your downfall. Anyway, we started off with Bartosz Bieliakowski in goal, and Bart could do nothing for... Sorry, am I keeping you up, Zach? Bart couldn't do anything for the two goals. Both of them were, like I said, both of them were in the corner. One in the top left-hand corner and the other one in the bottom right-hand corner. He did make 2 or 3 other saves. Claimed well from crosses. For that reason, I'll give him a 7. We then had a back 4. We played 4-4-2 today. A back 4. James Brown, I think, making his first cup start, home start for the Lions. And I felt that he'd done all right, to be honest. Defensively looked very solid. Defensively helped Pearson and Cooper. And Sheffield United done a lot of attacking, but didn't really create many chances themselves. He also made an excellent block off the line. One of the chances that Billy Sharp did create, gets around the goalkeeper and hits it on target. And James Brown's on hand to clear it off the line. But like I said, defensively, I thought he looked really good. The only thing I would say is his distribution was at times lacking, and maybe that's a lack of match sharpness. But, you know, you need him to do better in a number of situations. And like I said, he just did not do enough with the ball at his feet. But primarily he's a defender. So for that reason, I'll give him a 7. We move to Murray Wallace as the left back. You know, most of the game, Murray Wallace... I don't know where he's going. Murray Wallace defended solidly. It's just one mad moment in the second half, which leads to the Sheffield United goal, where he just switches off. You know, him and Shane Ferguson switch off. They don't do enough. They both allow Besic to have space on the edge of our box. They go opposite directions to him, and Besic, to be fair, cracks the ball into the top left-hand corner for probably, you'd say, a well-deserved lead at that stage. But he couldn't really, you know, because he was a part of a back 4 rather than the wing back like he has been recently, couldn't really get into the game attacking wise. And you know, like I said, I'll give him a 6 because of the mistake that ultimately cost us the goal. But other than that, it didn't do him much wrong. We moved to the centre-back pairing of Jake Cooper and Alex Pearce. I felt that they marshalled Billy Sharp really well. You know, he's never an attacker you like coming up against, because he's always going to challenge you, always going to make things difficult. But Sheffield United created very few chances as well, and it's hard to say. You know, we lose 2-0 and your centre backs have played all right, but I felt like they did, and for that reason, I'm going to give both of them a 7. We then go into midfield, and I'll start with the central midfield pairing because I felt that they done far better than the wide players today. And I don't know, that's probably a little bit to do with the fact that Sheffield United defended so well. But Billy Mitchell and Jason Melambe in the centre of midfield today, I thought that they done well. You know, they both looked to get on the ball. And I'll start with Billy Mitchell because obviously he's got his chance playing against the Premiership outfit. And I can remember two big mistakes he's made. Or not big mistakes, but mistakes he's made. One was a cross-field pass in the first half that got intercepted. And the second was a woeful cross in the second half that just went over the top of everybody. And the fact that I can remember those two mistakes is a good thing because he didn't do anything else wrong. He did look to get on the ball. He did. I don't think he interplayed enough with Jason for my liking, but did interplay down the wings enough. He did drive with the ball at one stage, and he's got a good range of passing, Billy. So ultimately, I think it was a solid midfield performance, and he should be happy with that. And so I'll give him a 7. And then we've got Jason Melambe next to him, who seems to be able to put in performance week in, week out. And you know, I love the fact that he receives the ball and looks to turn and change the play so often. He's got so much confidence on the ball. Obviously, again, but neither Billy or Jason got into the attacking third enough. But defensively, they broke up the play. You know, probably one of them should be closing down the chance in the second half. The second goal where he's allowed to be on the edge of the box and curl it around. You'd hope that one of your central midfielders closed it down. But you know, I thought Jason done all right. So for me, Jason gets a 7. The real lacking part of today, the thing that really let us down were our wide players, Shane Ferguson and Connor Mahoney on either wing. Just did not create enough, did not get forward enough, couldn't beat a player. And their delivery into the box, both of them was terrible. It's weird because before the game I was saying about Shane Ferguson, saying he's really consistent. And the delivery into the box is normally really good, but today it was woeful. You know, so many of the crosses just hit the first man, and like I said, we just did not do enough. It's hard to be critical, but there's no other way of putting it. Both of them get a 5, and I feel like I'm being generous giving them a 5. Up front, we had Matt Smith and Aiden O'Brien. You know, Matt Smith put himself about a bit. He won quite a lot in the air. He has a chance where he closed the ball down and then takes a shot from outside the box, which you don't expect Matt Smith to do. Maybe he should have laid in Aiden O'Brien. And likewise, Aiden O'Brien probably should have laid in Matt Smith when he had a chance. A glorious chance, really. The best chance of the match by a long way, where Aiden's put through and just kind of passes it back to the goalkeeper. And if we'd have taken the lead in the game, I think it would have been difficult. You know, if we could have sat back, I felt we'd have had enough to be able to hold them out, which is weird to say, but because we were left trying to push the game, it left us open. And I just didn't think Aiden offered enough today. We needed pace, and Jed, when he came on, just showed us what the difference with the pace can make. And Aiden and Matt just couldn't really create, other than the 2 chances that they did have. They just weren't in the game. So for that reason, I'll give Matt Smith a 6, and I'm struggling to give Aiden any more than a 5. We made subs in the second half. With Budvarsson and Bradshaw coming on, they didn't get in the game at all, so I'm not even going to give them a rating. Jed seemed to, lift the crowd a little bit and ran at Sheffield United. Sheffield United had such a high line, and we just weren't able to penetrate it until Jed came on and ran direct at them. You want Connor Mahoney to do that, but he just didn't do it in the game. Jed came on and done it. Again, it's hard to give him a rating because he weren't on long enough. Overall, we're now out of the cup. West Ham also went out, so at least there was no chance of getting them in the next round. And it's a kind of a dismal way to go out of the cup. I felt like we held our own for long parts of the game. Just individually, we got done by a better side, and there's sometimes it's that. But what was refreshing today was the fact that ref watch, we had Anthony Taylor. The difference between having a decent Premiership ref at the Den and just managed the game well. He wasn't the centre of attention. You compare it to last week, where we had an absolute dire F. Today's so much better, and you know, no injury time in the first half, got rid of it. I know Sheffield United tried to waste time and got a booking straight away. You know, Henderson done it a little bit, but he managed the game, Anthony Taylor, and it's what you like to see. Zach, who's your man of the match today?
Sorry if I keep closing my eyes, but it's because I'm seeing loads of red lights.
Brake lights.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I think I have a split decision. Because Billy Mitchell, he's a youngster and he marshalled their midfield today. So it's also Bart too, because other than the 2 goals they couldn't do anything about, he was brilliant. So split Billy Mitchell and Bart.
Alf, who's yours?
Billy Mitchell and Bart, because Billy Mitchell is a youngster and he marshalled the midfield so well today. And Bart, the 2 goals he could do nothing about, and the rest of the game he played well.
There we go. So that's from the boys. We now go to Leeds. We've set our stall out. We've showed that we're now taking the league seriously and trying to go for a promotion push. It's going to be very difficult at Ellen Road on Tuesday night. Me and Layla are going to be there. But ultimately today we are out of the cup. I've moved 50 metres since I've been started to drive home. It's going to take me, 3, maybe 4 hours to get home. It happens sometimes. We go again Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you don't mind. No one likes us.
We don't care.